Hi, welcome to valuationpodcast.com, a podcast and video series about all things related to business and valuation. My name is Melissa Gragg, and I provide divorce mediation and valuation services in St. Louis, Missouri. Today, we are going to discuss passive appreciation in separate property in divorce and the external market forces with Dr. Ashok Abbott. He's an associate professor of finance at West Virginia University and founder of Business Valuation Incorporated, where he provides value by determining statistical significance, validating economic models, establishing causality, and providing rigorous empirical support. So major research. You mentioned interest rates, and I think that one thing that we saw during the pandemic is that interest rates went really low, and now interest rates, I feel like, are climbing back a little bit, and will continue to change. But when those interest rates change, do they also change consumption, and how?
Some do and some don't.
Okay.
So that's the thing. Again, it's going into the detail.
Mm-hmm.
If you are, and this is something which, when I was working on a relatively large case a couple of years ago, it came out that depending on the population that is consuming your particular product, what are their major expenses? And interestingly, it came out that for this particular product, which was a consumer product, the automobile car loan interest became a much bigger factor than mortgage interest. And you started looking at it and said, why? Because mortgages are typically the largest purchase that someone makes. They take the largest chunk of your income. And then, of course, that impacts your disposable income, that impacts your consumption. But why is that interest rate not showing up? And then when you start looking at it, you say, who are the people who are buying these products? Young, urban professionals. That was the market. And what we found was that market is not really buying a house at that stage in their life. This was a product that young professionals, 25 to 34 years old, were the single largest block that was buying this product. And that is the block that usually at that point, in this population demographic, does not own a home or is not buying one at that point.
Sure.
If they are in a really large place like New York, the cost to buy a house or livable house for them is going to be very high. So where do they spend their money on?
Stuff.
In this case, these are they are not tweens. They are making some good money. A lot of their first big purchase ends up being a luxury car rather than a home.
Yeah.
So that was the interesting factor that came in. And when you do that, then it makes sense. I mean, for them, the biggest chunk of their monthly income is the car payment they are making, not a home mortgage. So when you see that, then you see that what they're really doing is they are looking first at buying that status car. I mean, everyone wants to, when they go to a club or they go to a meeting, they want to be stepping out of this high-priced car,
right,
to be seen in it. And a lot of them are buying it for that. It's not, I mean, in New York, car is not a very practical transportation medium. Right? But they're doing that. So the biggest expense that they had, single fixed expense, was this monthly car payment. And since that, depending on what the automobile loans interest rate was, so that it was interesting that this product has nothing to do with a car, but the consumption determinant became how much the disposable income was changing as a result of buying that very expensive car.
Mm-hmm.
So
and as rates maybe go down, they can buy a bigger car, a larger
or
payment.
even with or even with a bigger car, they can now buy. They have more money left over to buy this other luxury good that was being marketed to them.
Mm-hmm.
It was a
Yeah,
very expensive accessory from Louis Vuitton.
of course.
And so, I mean, basically, somebody who buys a BMW is the same one who buys that Louis Vuitton accessory.
Right.
So this was interesting. See, that's what happens when you start really analyzing. When you start, you have to step into the skin of the business to see. Then from there, look outside and see what is really coming in.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to
Well,
match.
yeah, and I think it's interesting because you do have to pay attention to consumer behavior
Right?
and what's motivating it. I think it's interesting to look at Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
And only because I have kind of tweens or early teenagers do I know that Starbucks kind of caters to the moms and the on the go and everything. And then Dunkin' Donuts really probably should have died a long time ago, but the
Market.
kids are what has like given it new life.
Right.
And they more prefer like the drinks at Dunkin' Donuts. And obviously, I don't really think it's about the donuts anymore, but it
It's
became cool in the
it's the
population.
high sugar.
Hmm.
It's the high sugar intake that they get there,
Exactly.
and they don't like the bitter coffee.
Right. It's no longer coffee. It's just
Right.
like fluff.
It's fluff.
Yeah.
It's like the dark chocolate.
Hmm.
Again, it was another similar high valued thing.
Well, dark chocolate is healthy, Dr. Abbott. It's
Yes,
healthy.
and the adults do consume that.
Right.
Right? When you get your mocha, what you are going to put in that or what you want in that is different than what a 12-year-old wants to get that big gulp.
Hmm.
Two different markets.
Yeah. Yeah. Completely.
So that's the thing. The product, the market, and the value, they go together.
Yes. Absolutely.